The key here is knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Knowledge of order. There is no creation without order. The key here is knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Knowledge of order. There is no creation without order. There is nothing you can do in the universe without order. It is a primary that man understands the order of nature.
Killah B, the goddamn Witchfinder general. You got a witch, I'll burn they motherfucking asses up. Yeah. Come on in, y'all. Yeah. Yeah. We got a good one for y'all tonight. We can go over a few things. Show y'all a few things. Y'all can learn, study, spread the knowledge. Killah B right here, y'all.
All of nature is what man is to study and to master. I'm catching myself. I almost went back to study.
Once you gotta get this knowledge, you gotta study. Let people know about your finds. Big friends, y'all got Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Let everybody know. People always talking about what y'all got for the people. Y'all put the Bible down, so what y'all got for the people?
Nature. God's
What
nature,
you got?
man's nature, or rather woman's nature, from which we come all. And
What's up, bro? Thanks for stopping by.
Whoa, what's good with it, man?
Yeah. We about to start up. Second here. About one more minute. We can get into some shit here today. Glad you stopped by.
there's nothing you can do in the universe without order. It is a primary that man understands the order of nature.
That's right. Killah B, the goddamn Witchfinder general. You got a witch, I'll burn they motherfucking asses up. And that's the goddamn truth. Y'all done seen it. What's up, Neo?
What's good, brother? What's going on?
All right, shit. Goddamn, you got the Black Jesus Minister voice shit today.
How y'all feel? It's your boy.
That nigga can bring his ass out here if he want. I mean, you know better and shit. Oh, man. I think, I don't know, some more people supposed to be stopping by. Brother here, Rude, Chris Harris, and stuff. I put the link out, see who stops by. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's Killah B, the goddamn Witchfinder General. You already know what I do. And I want to talk about this recap of this week real quick before I get into the little lesson. Show what's going on and stuff in the Israelite community. This week, I spoke on Joy Morgan and how her murder trial has started. And what we saw was a lot of things are coming out. And we had a lot of Israelites in the beginning saying, oh, you can't blame it on the camp. You can't blame it on the camp. You can't just say one guy do something. But you guys go back and look at the video, which got over probably like 800 views by now. You see what happened in the trial. The man is lying. He can't keep a straight story. It is a total disaster. And I bet a lot of it has to do with that group, with them trying to suppress information about what really happened to this girl. We saw how the mother looked for her child and couldn't get any information from the group that her daughter so much loved, held so close to her. Plus her friends and stuff that were so supposedly so close to her and loved her, end up killing her. Her body is not yet been found. Her keys have been found in the accused murderer's vehicle. Accused murderer said that he dropped the sister off after the Holy Day festival on December 26th. It comes out in the court that her cell phone was located being at his home in another town or city. The man changes the story again and say that he didn't drop her off home on the 26th, but he brought her to his home where she stayed for 2 nights. And we know the rules and regulations, Israel United in Christ, can't be having more than one wife. The man was married to a woman. It seems that since then, the woman has divorced him or maybe left the group. And supposedly, according to the sister's text messages that were received, that he had a wife and she talked about how great they were and how well they treated her. Like a daughter, she said in the text messages. But we see when you open up to these Hebrew Israelite people, what happens. Also in the court cases, comes out that the sister maybe wanted out and that she tried to express herself to a sister at the festival, and the sister suppressed her speech, told her not to talk, calmed her down. She was crying the whole time at the festival, they said, and it was being suppressed. So we're starting to see a lot of the stuff coming out, but it looks like a homeboy he's all set. He's done. He's cooked. Also today, this week, I made some videos exposing the lies within the Hebrew Israelite doctrine that Hebrew Israelites traveled after the Syrian Empire in about 1730, 1740. I mean, it's not 740 BC, around that time, and that they migrated over to the Americas. The 10 tribes migrated over to the Americas. And that's where you get the Native Americans and the Caribbean and the North and South America. What I shown that this possibly couldn't happen. The fact shows in the scriptures itself that these people went eastward towards the Euphrates, where they crossed the Euphrates and didn't want to stay there any longer and decided to move further east, not west. What the Hebrew Israelite doctrine says, that they sailed across the Mediterranean Sea. That's what I forgot to bring out. The information on the boats that could have been used. I'll save that for later. I might do that next week. Is that they sailed across the Atlantic out the Strait of Gibraltar. God split the waters for them to cross over to the Americas. Now, we see that if God split these waters, like they say Moses split the waters in the Reed Sea, which is a low-lying swamp area, which you really wouldn't need to push back any walls of water that can drown an army. Also, if the Atlantic Ocean was split, so these people, these 10 tribes, could migrate across, right? That would be a global disaster with the waterways of the Atlantic Ocean. That would cause a great trauma, and there would actually be other accounts from other cultures, nations, religions, and their recordings of history that this great thing is happening, because they obviously would have saw and would have been affected by this great so-called miracle that happened. We also see that if they migrated to the Americas in 700, say they left 730, they left Assyria, right? Just say it's around that time. They got to their destination in a year and a half. So if they used ships, they would have had to build these ships. And they would have had to build enough ships to transport 10 tribes of people from the Exodus. Do you know offhand how many people left the Syrian captivity, Neil?
No, I have no idea.
All right, let's see if I can look it up. Let's see here. If they did got there a year and a half later, would have been what 729, 728 BC. They still would have not been the only people there. According to Second Ezra, it says that these 10 tribes went to another land that no one else has known and no one else built it. As we know, that have scientific archaeology, and all types of other evidence that there were people in the Americas living long before 730 BC. Long before 730 BC. There's been claims that there are artifacts that date back to 14,000 years ago, from the Paleo period in the Americas. Some of the earliest ones from the Mississippian period have been dated to 3,000 years ago. And that would also place these Indians there, these Native Americans there, before 730 BC. So that whole doctrine is out of the window. It's done. There's no need to pull any more biblical scriptures trying to prove it. Science has proven it false. The whole story has been proven false, according to using the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. Now, this seems like a win for the so-called black-only Hebrew Israelites, which we will get in also on that, showing that they also didn't go into Africa and that they really didn't exist. Neil, you got anything to say? Did you happen to watch the video this week?
No, I didn't actually see that video.
All right. Just based off
so
what
I can't.
Based off what I said, I don't know if you subscribe to that or not.
I don't subscribe to the whole dating the Bible. I don't do that because I believe, with history, everything is up for speculation and everything is an approximation. Whether it's biblical history, whether it's actual history, that we get taught in school, that gets put in the history books and so on and so forth. I don't think people really know inaccurate timing on this. When it comes to like carbon dating and all of that, there's a lot of information that proves that it's not that accurate.
Yes.
And I think the whole point of those dating systems is for them to convince you that they know that something happened at a certain time when they really don't know. They're really taking a guess,
Right.
Finding the half-life of carbon and such like that. Like if you can't know the full life of carbon, which I know you can't, then how will you figure out the half-life of it?
Okay. I have also have said too that people said carbon dating isn't true. I actually heard. I have to fact check this. There's a lot of stuff I learned through the Hebrew Israelite shit. That the person that created carbon dating said on his deathbed that it wasn't true. That's what I hear.
Right.
I have to further investigate.
I don't know about that one. Where I'm coming from on it is a completely logical point of view. I deal with logic and philosophy. I don't even say this because the other Hebrews say it. I say this because this is what I believe before I even knew about a Hebrew Israelite. You know, just from considering the information, once I broke free of the school information,
Yep.
I realized that everything we're taught is someone's belief.
Right.
None of this stuff is facts. From science to evolution, Big Bang, and all of this stuff, it's just as much of a belief as the Bible is. So, and I don't have a problem with belief, because just because it's a belief don't mean it's wrong. But to put that as absolute fact, now you're giving them a chance to say, oh, well, we dated this European book and it dates older than all of the books in Africa, so it has to be true. Once you give them that leeway, they can do that. Whoever controlling the world can dictate what is the original book now.
All right, but you can't. Who the hell is this? Nigga, I'm on the show. Why the hell are you calling me? And he know that what I'm doing. So what the fuck you gonna call me?
Maybe you can't get in.
Coming on. So like, why the fuck you calling me? It made me miss my thought. Shit, bullshit. I was gonna go into the thing about the carbon dating, in case they want to use that, right?
Right.
They can say it ain't true. They can say that. Now, you also have to know about when they left Assyria, that Assyria was already in their Bronze Age. Being captives, I would figure that they would know about metal smelting and processing metals and alloys, right? Now, if they left at that time and came to the Americas, why were they using stone tools?
The Indians, you mean?
Right, correct. Now, these so-called Indians got there from Assyria. These so-called Israelites / Indians got there from Israel. Got there from Assyria. Where the scriptures say they went east, but Israelites stayed west. And I
saw that east thing. That stuck out to me,
Right. Now, they don't they done threw a curveball and changed it up. Now, all of a sudden, they went east and then went south, down into the Indian Ocean, around the bottom of Africa, then came back up into South America. And remember, the waters were split so they could come over.
Now, see, I don't know where they got all that stuff from. Yeah. You mean like the whole Exodus thing again? That the water split and they walked all the way across the ocean?
Yeah, because the 10 tribes, they went to another land that no man has known before.
Now, see, they would do a better job in saying they went east, went all the way up through China, crossed that little land bridge that science tell us. Right. They would do better saying that, but I'm pretty sure they're not going to say that because of the time issue, because science say all of this happened long before.
In a year and a half, they went all the way across the whole goddamn continent of Asia.
I don't think it had to take a year and a half, though.
No, the book says a year and a half. They have to subscribe to a year and a half. The book says a year and a half. It took them to get to where they was going.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that part.
Yep. It said it took a year and 6 months to get to the other side, to where they were going, eastward. But now
that wasn't America then, unless they had boats. Unless they left in a boat, that wasn't America.
Yep. And where did they sail east in a boat from Assyria? They ain't nowhere to sail. They said they went across the Euphrates River and they held back the canals so they could get over there. It says that. They ain't say nothing about no goddamn Atlantic Ocean and all that shit. And I want to know if they built boats. How long would a boat take to build? To carry all those people?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a far stretch on that one for me, you know. And
all right, I got it right here in front of me. It says Assyrian cuneiform states that 27. I don't know if this is exactly what I'm talking about. Let me skim through this thing real quick. I don't take up time like looking for some shit I should have looked up before I started the show. But right here, Assyrian captivity. Assyrian cuneiform states that 27,290 captives were taken from Samaria, the capital of the northern kingdom of Israel. Right?
Right.
Said 27,000 people taken captive. Whether they was Israelites, people want to say they were Israelites or not. They took 27 motherfuckers from Samaria. But what I want to know, how many left? That's what I want to know. How many left? So that doesn't really make any sense. Okay, let's see if I can find something real quick. So find out how many people left, right? But even if so, you see that doesn't work. Now the new one is that they sailed all the way around the bottom to the top, right? Now they said that I had made a claim that it took 30 days to sail across. That what I was taught when I was a little kid in school, right? People are saying now 6 months.
30 days to
right?
sail across what, the oceans?
To sail across the Atlantic Ocean. 30 days.
I didn't know how long it took. I didn't remember that, honestly.
I found sources that 30 days. I found sources that say 30 days. But there's people that are saying 6 months, up to 6 months, right? Now, if it was 6 months to go from Africa to the West Indies or the Americas, right? 6 months. Now you take that same distance of Africa back all Africa into the Euphrates River.
You was breaking
That's
up.
about a year right there. Giving them the longest time. That's about a year. Because that was Israelites, some Israelites saying 6 months. No. The people that are saying that the slave trade didn't happen are saying that it took 6 months over there or whatever. Right? Now, so that would be
Yeah, I can't hear you. You're going in and out.
I'm going in and out. Shit. Get rid of some of this shit on my screen. Got some important shit on here. Okay. How about now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
All right, cool. So, even with the time to build the boats, you know what I'm saying? Let's say it was fucking 500 people. They say they used to fit 250 or 500 people on a slave ship. And I can imagine a ship from the 1800s was a lot bigger than a ship from 700 BC. And if I'm not mistaken, a lot of those boats might have not even been built with wood at that time. That's another thing I gotta check out. I'll put the link in the chat, Chris. All right, I just put it in your Facebook too.
All
right. So yeah, it's fucking like crazy, but like all said and done, like it doesn't match up to their doctrine. With science, using their book, know what I mean, and their doctrine. If you put those all together, it's just like a clusterfuck of bullshit. Now to the next thing. The response. I've got a lot of damn response. I got one of my link. Say that again.
I don't see the link in here.
Oh no! To get out, I put the link in the chat for Chris to come out. I think you don't see it. I put it in there again.
No, the Killah be the witch hunter.
Yeah, the Witchfinder. Goddamn it,
Witchfinder.
Yeah, it's right there in the chat, the video chat on YouTube. Not in here, not in the Hangouts.
Oh, on YouTube. Okay, yeah. All right.
Yep. The response. One of the shares I got, that shit's probably like 400 fucking comments. And there's people that's mad. I invited every goddamn one of them to come out and talk about it.
Hey, Macklin says he can't join.
He already told me that shit. So why does he keep saying that? Like I'm calling him.
Okay.
Goddamn, fucking up my thought.
No, I had told him to join. I was in the group with him, and I told him to join, and he said he couldn't join. See, those links don't work when those links don't work from a cell phone.
Yeah, you have to be in Chrome. You got to use the Chrome app in your phone and go in through there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's like a little glitch that they got going on or something. But the response that I got was like crazy. I couldn't believe it. Like it was mad people responding, but nobody debunking what I showed. And it's a whole bunch of people with a whole lot of stuff to say with no answers. You know what I'm saying? Now, there was one person that stepped up to the plate. One person stepped up to the plate. Out of all those people. And guess who it was?
Who's that?
Negi Springfield. Of the Torah Flights. You might not be familiar with him. Negi Springfield is a Caucasian guy that's in a Hebrew Israelite group with Judah Natzarah. They consider themselves the Torah Knights, but like they're all being cast out of the Torah Knights. So, but they still take on that name. I renamed them Torah Flights. And he's the only one stepped up to the plate. Me being an ex-Torah Knight, we always helped each other. If somebody was in some type of scriptural battle or, you know what I mean, dealing with somebody else about the doctrine or anything, we'd be right there helping. But it seems that they put all Negi Springfield, the Edomite, who they consider as an Edomite, he's not allowed to teach in their group. He's just there to be an Israelite clinger, is what they want to call him. And he steps up and say, hey, this isn't true. Now, Negi Springfield's a good sport. No, we make some videos on him and stuff with the old, you know what I mean, showing his Peter on the internet and
wow.
You know, being into wedgie porn and all types of crazy stuff. Little boys and stuff pulling their drawers over their head, all types of crazy stuff. But Negi Springfield's a good sport. He usually's pretty honest to a point. He likes to defend the group at all costs, even if it involves like entertaining some bullshit. But he finds it hard to do so. Long story short, he shows up. I do another live stream for him to show us like why he disagreed. The fire got real hot for him. He made an excuse, and the first time ever in Hebrew Israelite and Torah Knights history has someone physically ran from a discussion. Judah Natzarah himself would actually at least lie, use all types of techniques to diffuse the situation or to change the direction of the conversation. But old Negi Springfield hauls ass and leaves the stream, letting everybody down in the whole Israelite community. And I found it courageous of him stepping up when all the other people that claim they are physically Hebrew Israelites not to step up to the plate, especially after all the comments that I've got. It's, I don't know. We still got people making these claims and stuff. They're still fighting. They're still fighting it, but none of them will come with evidence. I even got a man that claims to be a Hebrew Israelite for 52 years. All I got from him was a thumbs down. That was it. He's been a Hebrew Israelite for 52 years, next to my 23 years. 52 years. It couldn't come with a logical explanation.
Right.
I've been called, Chris Harris been saying I've been getting death threats. People say the Most High gonna kill my ass and all types of fucking crazy. See if the link works for him. It's, I don't know, man. It's like, and I'm gonna keep going. I got a lot more things like brewing up. I've been doing some studying just before the show on some stuff. Tonight we're gonna get into Solomon's Temple and what the Torah Knights claim to have held secret scrolls that the Knights Templars and the elites use to control the world. And we're going to see today about the authenticity of what was actually going on in that temple. We can use some scriptures. We're going to use some of that Josephus, which I don't really subscribe to, but Hebrew Israelites subscribe to it. So to debunk their stuff, I use my sources and I use the sources that they use to debunk their own conversation. So we're going to get into that. First, I want to get into some claims. Since I told you guys about Negi Springfield and how that the Torah Knights always fought and always stood up for the Torah and the Hebrew Israelites of the world, right? They're supposed to have been the guardians of the temple. But to prove that, we're going to listen to something here. I'm going to play this clip real quick.
Make a video defending GMS.
All right.
Just don't even know how to argue for the.
Listen to what this person, Negi Springfield, says. I'm going to start it from here.
He is. They're stupid. Like, honestly, these guys.
He's speaking about GMS and how they're stupid and stuff like that, right? Listen to what he says.
Terrible people. I mean, they just don't even know how to argue for their God, for their false idol. I've never seen GMS make a video defending their idolatry. Not one single video. They just spout cult rhetoric until they think they've done, I guess, the work in defending their idol. I don't know. These guys didn't know what I was talking about when I said idolatry, but I think they did.
See, this is Negi Springfield rebuking GMS for not standing up for their beliefs. Right? He's making that claim that they're not standing up for their beliefs. But what we got, old Negi Springfield running. Damn, I should have had that video queued up. God dang it. Turn some stuff off here. I should have had that video queued up. I don't know why I didn't. But Chris Harris gives them the business, and he decides to leave. That happens. You guys would just go back and check it out. It's my last video. It's pretty short, so like it's not like a long 2-3 hour video. I don't even think it's an hour. And you see what happens. Today we're gonna get into some stuff that I found in the Knights Templars official website. the Knights Templars. And we're going to find out what they claim was found in Solomon's temple. So,
that sounds interesting.
yep. Because Torah Knights claims that they found some scrolls and they dug up the scrolls and that they took the scrolls and they conquered the world with the secret knowledge of the Levite priest. So we're gonna see what was going on. Shall share my screen here. Okay. Out of there. All right. Everybody should be able to see my screen now. Okay. Origins of the Knights Templar Order. Foundations in the historical Temple of Solomon. All right. See, primary sources. I'm trying to read this long ass shit. I ain't gonna read this whole thing. Start from here. Thanks for subscribe, Sandpit Records. The site of the Temple of Solomon. Also the site of its later replica reconstruction of Herod. Somebody came in. Shoot. Also the site of its later replica reconstruction of King Herod, one level above it. Is generally accepted to have stood on a full territory of the Temple Mount, which runs underneath and around all the Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, which are adjacent to each other. The fact that King Baldwin II's palace on the Temple Mount, also called Mount Moriah, was built upon the same site as the ancient Temple of Solomon. The site did indeed contain the actual biblical Temple of Solomon. Was confirmed by the 5th century Byzantine historian Procopius of Caesarea, and also by the 19th century British lawyer and historian Charles Addison, both stating that Solomon began to build a house of the Lord at Jerusalem on Mount Moriah. The famous first century historian Flavius Josephus, as the governor of Galilee, confirmed. What? I got the meat and the shit on the note. Go through all that shit. Awesome. Yeah, dude. Oh, only part of it. Okay. As the governor of Galilee confirmed that Herod's temple in Jerusalem was built on top of the same site as the original King Solomon's temple, right? Josephus documented it as having mainly detailed characteristics that very closely follow the biblical description of King Solomon's temple, and specifically featuring representations of the heavenly sphere of the constellations related to the ancient Egyptian priesthood. Now, they're saying that it had representations of the heavenly sphere, right? The heavenly sphere, hey, Chris Harris, the heavenly sphere is the constellations. It's the zodiac wheel. It says relating to the ancient Egyptian priesthood. But what do they claim? They claim that it's Yahweh's house. The Lord lives up in it, right? Flavius Josephus, by his own site research of Herod's replica temple, established that the Temple of Solomon contained figures of living creatures within it, a reference to the Egyptian pantheon of deities, who were actually angels and saints, right? Egyptian hieroglyphs and other Egyptian inscriptions featuring animal figures. Now, the people that want to co-sign Flavius Josephus, right, for proving your Israelitehood, why y'all never read that shit? Y'all got every Hebrew Israelite school out there has a copy of Flavius Josephus' works sitting right there, right on the desk of the elder. Every single one. I ain't been in a Hebrew Israelite school that the elder on his desk didn't have a copy of Flavius Josephus. Everywhere I went, every single one of them. And why they never show that to the people? That inside that goddamn temple, they was worshiping and subscribing to Egyptian spirituality. This historical witness description of Herod's replica temple mirrors the biblical account of Ezekiel in the Old Testament, Ezekiel 8 and 10 and 11. University Bible scholarship with the 20th century historians confirmed that when Ezekiel looked into the Holy of Holies within Solomon's temple, he saw paintings and other mythological scenes, motif which seemed to point to synchronistic practices of Egyptian providence. You remember in the scripture, what happened with Ezekiel? He dug on through the hole and went up in the Holy of Holies, and what they were doing?
Abominations.
What they was doing?
Worshiping other gods.
That was the Most High's house. That was the Most High's house, though. They was setting up sacrifices. They was doing the goddamn Day of Atonement, all that stuff. So why God wasn't coming out striking them motherfuckers up, fucking them niggas up? Well, while they was doing it.
I mean, he did mess them up. That's the whole story. He messed them up.
Why did he mess them up while they were doing it?
I can't answer why God would do something or why he wouldn't do something.
God dwelt inside the Holy of Holies. Remember, you go in there, if you was unclean, your ass would die. When you walk up in that motherfucker, your ass would die. So why don't God didn't kill them on the spot? That wasn't just one time. They didn't go up in there and was worshiping that shit just for like a couple of months. They've been doing that shit. And I saw an article today, but it wasn't something that you could actually use as a fact. There were rubbish that was dug up, and this archaeologist got this stuff, and it wasn't. When you do archaeological digs, you have to document everything, how deep these things were in the soil. Like they found a badge from like a Turkish soldier. They found a badge of that, and they also found scarabs in there with Egyptian scarabs. Not saying that one was there, but that the stuff that was dug up and left in a rubbish pile, that stuff was found. What's happening, Chris Harris?
What's good?
Sitting there burning their asses up. Let
Nah,
everybody know what happened this week. Now them
boy,
niggas be running.
boy, I lit it up today on that false Noah's Ark story, man. I lit that shit up today.
Oh, goddamn, you got on the goddamn Noah's Ark?
Yeah,
Man,
man.
shit. I was trying to get on Signet and shit all day today to talk about black eye minister, black ass minister. I mean, black magic ministers, fucking whole ass and shit with that Noah's Ark shit. You believe this nigga trying to go live in the chat today and try to reprove that shit? Can you believe that? I gotta send you. I don't know. Did I send you that note about Noah's Ark today? I don't know if I did. I admit to it. But the stuff that they found that they claimed was wood, was rock. The stuff that they claimed was ribs, like metal ribs, was rock. And like, know what I mean? It's like there's absolutely no evidence. And this nigga tried to say that they made a museum, not a museum. They made it a national park. That they considered it a real they considered it a real historical site. I'm like, nigga, that is nowhere. And the equipment that they use to find the claims, there are tools that you will find like in what was the name of that man? Like Popular Science, and there was another one. You know, back in the day, magazines. In the back of the mag, they had all the ads. You could order your metal detectors and shit. It was like some cheap metal detector shit that they use to do research. And they said it closely resembles a dowsing. It's like a dowsing instrument. You know what dowsing is, right? When they go to try to find water, it's like the two rods. They walk around. And the rod's supposed to move to find the water, which is a bunch of bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That the instrument that they used was like that. Wait, I doubt I can find the note. I know I put it up in that other chat. I know I ain't gonna find that shit deep in that shit. Yeah, that shit.
I remember you showing it one day, or somebody showing it.
Yeah. Oh, nah, that was the other one. I forgot what chat that was. Hebrew War Council. I think it might have been that chat. I think. Let's see. I know I erased the note. Oh, no. Did I? Wait, hold on. I think I might have it in front of me. Here. Here we go. This is part of it. It's actually not in there. So you got to see it on the screen now. Look, on the website, Noah's Ark Ministries International says the Turkish government plans to apply to the United Nations to put Noah's Ark Discovery Site on UNESCO's World Heritage List. Designation given to places of special cultural or physical significance. But the agency hasn't received any official requests from Turkey for the inscriptions of Noah's Ark into the list. UNESCO spokesperson Ronnie Allman said in an email. So it's a lie. It's a lie. They never received anything.
Nothing.
Just like how the nigga lied about the Egyptian shit up in the goddamn Grand Canyon. The Smithsonian said that nigga you stated that went there to go check out with you, he never worked for us, and we don't even know who that nigga is, and we ain't got no records of him. And the dude that made the discovery, there's no records of him ever existing. And the one article that was written about it was anonymous. It was an anonymous article, so no author. Unbelievable. So Like who really sparked up the Noah's Ark thing in there?
Today they were doing all their debates on talk about what they want to debate and everything on Solar Vision. So earlier, I only got one debate lined up, and that's with that good dude Orthodox Moore, and he don't stand a chance in that debate. But I was just listening to all this bullshit. So I said, well, I'm finna do away with all of the Israel bullshit and that chosen concept shit. I'm gonna attack Noah's Ark. And I just showed a little video, a cartoon video about how the Lion King was stolen from an older cartoon, but the Lion King producer said it was an original idea. And that's how Disney promoted it. So gonna find out it was stolen from a Japanese cartoon called Kimba the White Lion. Right? So I call it the Lion King, right? And that's what the Bible did. It presents Noah's Ark as an original story, but it's not. It comes from a story called the Gilgamesh, and the Gilgamesh comes from a story called the Epic of Artaxerxes, and the Artaxerxes come from a much older narrative called the story of Zarathustra. So I say, if you do away with Genesis and Noah, guess what? You deal away with the chosen children concept. If you deal away with the chosen children concept, you deal away with everything in Israel. If you do away with Israel, you do away from this cursed group of people called the Canaanites. Just that simple.
Yeah, that's simple. Yeah, we're gonna tear it down, and like they gonna have nothing left, and everybody be answering questions, and the only answer they're gonna have, them niggas got demons on them. That's the only thing they're gonna have. Yeah, I got some stuff. Yeah, let me finish reading this thing.
Yeah,
this thing that we can hit this Noah's Ark shit again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna put it in your face.
Yeah, you know why I'm being a little quiet though. So go ahead.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, I put it.
You should listen to that video I did today. You will like it. Trust me. I had the flamethrower going.
Check out that thing I just sent you.
Mm-hmm.
While I finish reading this here. Okay. Share my screen again. Alrighty. Right. So we see that Ezekiel saw them niggas doing some goddamn shit up in there. We see that Josephus saw a whole bunch of Egyptian hieroglyphs and shit up in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when we'd already proved y'all in past videos that everything they was worshiping was African. All the things that y'all thought was Israelite, it was all African. That's all they was doing. And it wasn't even they was doing because they didn't exist. They made a story based off of African people. Let me finish this thing up here, right? We see Ezekiel seeing the paintings and mythological scenes, motifs, which seem to point to synchronistic practices of Egyptian prophets, right? The historical record thus documents that the archaeological excavation of the Temple of Jerusalem by the founding Templar Knights, including the first direct access to remnants of Herod's temple, and also underneath it, remnants in underground levels of Solomon's temple. Contemporary accounts indicate that this archaeological exploration revealed extensive evidence that the Temple of Solomon, the ancient Templar priesthood of the biblical Solomon, and the origins of Christianity itself were all essentially and fundamentally Pharaonic Egyptian. This establishes that archaeology and Egyptology are literally the foundation and the cornerstone Stone that's rejected is going to be the head of the corner of both Christianity and temporalism. As confirmed by the Sufi bastard historian, says Aldris El Hashimi, known as Idris Shah, the Egyptian branch of Al-Banna Nasr on the Temple of Solomon. When the Sufis heard news of the Knights Templars excavating under the Temple Mount, they immediately traveled from Egypt to Jerusalem to join the Knights. They knew that the Temple of Solomon was pharaonic Egyptian, and that its esoteric secrets. What is esoteric secrets from the ancient Magi priesthood will require initiated mastery to understand. So they knew its importance to Christianity, saying, you may have the cross, but we have the meaning of the cross. The Egyptian Sufis extensively trained the first Knights Templars during their formative 9 years of excavating the Temple of Solomon. And that's it.
That's game
That's
over.
it. Game over. Game over. There's nothing else to read. Nothing else. Anybody want to say the shit that happened? Hey, got it right there. All the sources are here. Let's see forward. That's 10. Look, source of that is in I.G. Shaw's The Sufis, 1964. Republished by Anchor Press.
It was so bad after I got done. It was so bad after I got done with that Noah's Ark lesson. G. Coon decided to go live and slander my name instead of dealing with the information. Because you can't deal with the information.
Yep. None of them can.
Y'all are stuck in a belief. We show and prove over here.
Know what they say when they can't do it? What's the first thing they say, Chris?
Cognitive dissonance. Fuck you, bitch.
You ain't lying, Nate. You is not lying, bro. You is not lying. That's the first thing they say. Fuck you, you a bitch.
Yahweh gonna come save us. Sure.
Yeah.
Is.
Fuck you, you a bitch. How's this,
like,
yo? Fuck you, you a bitch. Yo, you don't think I be lying, yo? Wait, fuck you, you a bitch. Oh shit! Where is it? Where is it? Nigga said, "Fuck you, you a bitch." And the nigga took down. You know he took down those comments, Chris. You know that, right?
He had to. Because we was exposed to him for being a racist. He's still racist as hell.
Yup. It's too deep up in here and shit. Yo, no, I got that motherfucker. Shit. Yeah, I sent it to you. I close the screen. That. No, I'll get to that other thing now. Where is it? Here we go. Bogus Noah's Ark from Turkey exposed as a common geologic structure, right? By Lauren Jean Collins, Department of Geological Sciences, California State University. Get to this thing. That's one thing that they tried to say was an anchor, but it was set there by people later. They put engraved crosses on that shit. Like, you know what I mean? They don't even know they were fucking shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? Where is it? Dallas. All right. Dallas. how you spell that shit. How you spell dollars? Nope. Where's it? Science magazines. That's your great.
People on there all jumping on G-Con like, okay, y'all sound good, but can y'all give us the proof like Chris did?
Yeah, exactly.
Show some proof now. Christians don't care about proof, but people who are real scholars, they're saying, yo, Chris just show proof. All y'all up here doing is talking. Show some proof. See, I go right after the origin of stuff. I don't have to keep playing around. You do away with the story of Noah, there is no chosen people. There is no God, chosen people. It started at Noah's Ark.
Yeah. Interpretations. All right. What's that shit? SWOT analysis, region, geologic history. All right. Conclusion. Evidence from microscopic studies and photo analysis demonstrate that the supposed ark near the Gug by Yazid, I know that's pronounced differently and shit. I used to know how to pronounce Turkish like words. Is a completely natural rock formation. It cannot have been Noah's Ark nor even a man-made model. It is understandable why early investigators falsely identified it. The unusual boat-shaped structure would so catch their attention that that an eagerness to be persons who either discover Noah's Ark or confirm its existence would tend to override caution. An illustration of the degree in which caution was disregarded by supporters of the Noah's Ark hypothesis. Is shown by the mistaken identification of a metamorphosed iridotite with crinkle folds at either gopher wood bark or cast of fossilized reeds that supposedly once covered the ark. Furthermore, if the creationism flood hypothesis were valid, the dead animals represented by fossils in the limestone must have died in the supposed flood, and these fossilized remains are found in channels that cut the supposed ark. Therefore, the supposed ark is older than the deposits of the supposed Noachian flood. And this relationship in itself conclusively refutes the hypothesis that the structure is the preserved remnants of the ark. The area near Kazan needs to be examined to see if outcrops of organic rock occurred there that may have mineralogy similar to that of the anchor stone. If so, a local source of the anchor stone is strong, however, in no way negates the conclusion that the boat-shaped rock formation is totally natural. Finally, David Fossil suggests that although the structure is not Noah's Ark, it may well be the site which the ancients, listen to this, which the ancients regarded as the ship of the deluge. It may have played a role in the flood story. As a geologist, I find this to be an interesting speculation. So they're saying, even if, like, knowing that the shit ain't real, they just throwing it out there. They just giving them a bone. Say, yo, that could have been where all these people went and saw, and they say, yo, this is where it was. And that's where the story started. Trying to find this thing on the. Still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. Go ahead.
Okay. About this goddamn. You trying to find that shit. All right, here we go. This is what in the field. similar to anchor stone. Let's talk about the anchor stone. Okay. Wait, I just saw this shit. It was there. Let's talk about the thing, about the instrument that they used. I just saw it with my eyes. I just saw this thing. Now I don't see it.
People,
I just
look,
saw
let me tell you something else Israelites do. Whenever you disprove their premise, they appeal to their belief and said, G-Con already talked about it. But when I asked G-Con to debate this, he ran from it. And I said, that's what they appeal to belief. That's all they do. I'm trying to tell y'all. I have to be a little quiet because somebody is asleep right now.
But I did see this damn thing in here. No, it's in here. That could have been another site I saw it on, maybe. But saying the instruments that they used. I saw what I saw here. I just saw a metal detector. All right, well, I can start here. The layered samples of rocks in the mud that fossil recovered and believed to be in cavity filling are andesite and basalt pebbles, typically of conglomeratic mud flows and volcanic terrains. Similar samples recovered by him from areas claimed by others to be ribbed timbers, planking, and deck beams are also andesite. Let's see. It's andesite. Andesite. Dark, fine-grained brown and grayish volcanic rock that is intermediate in composition between rhyolite and basalt. See? That would have shown to be what they claim to be the timbers and the planking and the deck beams that built the ship is volcanic material or boulders and show no evidence of petrified wood. Remember what the black ass minister said when he came on your show?
Mm-hmm.
It was petrified wood, brother.
It was rock, brother.
They ain't trying to say petrified wood was rock. That nigga's fucking crazy. In the field, the supposed iron brackets have the outward appearance of pieces of black metallic elemental iron. The black shiny surfaces, however, are characteristic of goethite, crystalline laminite. That's kind of like a what they call that shit. Yeah, lime, I think. Which is like a soft thing. I don't know. A dark reddish brown or yellowish brown mineral consisting of oxyhydride iron occurring typically in masses of fibrous crystals. A hydrated iron oxide. This mineral is associated in the structure with black elementic magnetite granules and possibly pyrite or pyrrhotite because locally some sulfur is reported in chemical analysis. Both magnetite and goethite or whatever causes a metal detector to buzz, just like elemental iron. Therefore, investigators might presume that they had found rusted iron metal. Because they try to claim that they found metal brackets and metal these things that the boat with the poles, like they put through the boat, the row of the boat and shit. I guess they were trying to say like they had like something like that on the boat, and they found them. If Noah's shipbuilders had forged this supposed iron bracket in a primitive smelter, the bracket would not consist of iron that was thoroughly mixed with clay, quartz, calcite, and anthropolite particles, but would seem to be solid iron. In molten iron, these matrix minerals would have been separated as slag or destroyed, right? Because when you molt, all right, this is another thing even ties in with the goddamn Indian shit, right? If the Indians, now look, Noah's Ark, they were forging and working with iron and shit, right? Now, how these motherfuckers and shit that left Assyria mad years later, after Noah, get to America, and all they got is a bunch of shells and fucking stones and shit to chip to make the use of tone for all tools. That's just stupid. That don't even make sense. Iron bracket show the yeah, like I was saying, like how could these people working with metals and then you get to the Americas and shit, you ain't working with metals. You fucking around with rocks and shells and shit till the white man get there. You ain't start fucking with smelter and metal until the white man got there. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, the motherfuckers had rocks and shit. They hit you in the head with a rock. They ain't had no swords or none of that shit. No metal tip spears or arrows, none of that shit. And if people say, well, the Aztecs had gold and all that shit, they were pounding that metal out. It wasn't smelted. It wasn't processed. They didn't know how to do that. And there were no elaborate things that were built with the metal, with the metals that they use, like gold and shit like that. And gold is very easy to work with. It's a pliable metal. This, just like back in the day, how they would tell they had gold coins. Like you see, like on the westerns, you see the cowboy bite the coin and shit. That's to tell if it's real gold, because when they bite on it, the teeth mark can be left in it. That would the idea that the iron was formed by smelting, because smelting the idea that iron was formed by smelting because smelting would homogenize to molten metal and produce a nearly constant composition. The high and valuable variable titanium from hydrogenous alteration of ilmenite magnetite granules eroded from the different volcanic sources and have variable titanium oxide contents. What that's supposed to be. That's not my thing. Yeah, then it gets into some more scientific shit, right? Oh, this is here we go. I think this is it right here, what I was looking for. The linear planar limonite concentrations along supposed walls of the ark were traced independently by 3 investigators, each using different electronic instruments, but producing the same results. 13 line limonite marking supposed walls converge towards the structure pointed end, and a similar convergence occurs at the opposite blunt end. Transverse to the longitudinal limonite concentrations are 9 lines of limonite, which were interpreted to be walls dividing arc rooms. Although these relationships might be logical evidence to indicate that the structure was originally man-made, I, as a geologist, can show that all these features could be formed by natural process, joining the lines and concentric shells at the structure's point and consistent with the structure being eroded, doubly plunging the sink line.
Keep going.
So that's what he's showing. At the blunt end, however, lines were not found wrapped around parallel to the outer relatively resistant rock of the arc, which a cross-section view of a doubly plunging cylindrical structure predicts. Their absent, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing words. Absence here occurs because eroded alluvium of the ark's interior spills over the rounded end and buries the bedrock. Therefore, conversion line of limonite and magnetite are covered so that they are undetected. Moreover, streams of eroded illuminite and magnetite granules projecting beyond the resistant layer gives a false appearance of a metal brace structure, extending beyond the round end. Fossil. Limonite concentration in divided walls can be formed naturally because stress applied to rocks that are folded into a boat shape commonly produce fracture patterns that cross-cut sedimentary layers. Water moving through these fractures and coming in contrast with magnetic magnetite or pyrite granules in the layers will produce the limonite concentrations and stains. Finally, no fossilized wood or traces of elemental carbon, wood, or reed fragments have ever been found associated with the limonite walls or in any other place during trenching or core drilling. The absence of ancient biotic carbon supports the hypothesis that the boat-shaped structure is not Noah's Ark. And organic carbon and calcite in veins cutting the layers, however, is common. You got anything you say, Kurt?
Nope, just listen. I'm trying to be as quiet as possible.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Fossiliferous limestone intersects the arc structure on one side and also found the outcrops of both sides beyond the adjacent landslide debris. On that basis, the doubly plunging stick line has likely formed in situ rather than being all right, this is getting crazy now, these words. I don't even know how to damn. A Latinos block transported in a landslide. Across the landslide. All right, let's get into a lot of scientific shit. Yeah, I couldn't even explain it to you. But I'm just getting the English, the regular, normal English part out of it. And you guys can do your own research and stuff. I read the conclusions to this already. I don't know what they're thinking. I really don't. I really don't understand it. Noah's Ark found in Turkey. Oh man, I don't know. Let me see what the chat's saying out there.
AB.
Yep.
Yo, all praises to the one true creator. I gotta go. I don't want to wake him up. Sorry, it's like that now.
All right, Joe.
Okay, y'all. Peace. I'm gonna stand by and listen.
All right, man. Peace. Here we have y'all. Chris Harris. Enjoy this. Thanks, Chris.
All right.
All right, man. Peace. See what this chat's saying here. All right, man. Peace. All right. Sorry forever. What's up, bro? Sister P, how you doing, Sister P? Amber, what's up, Amber? Squiggly Line Man, what up? Yeah, sorry I started all late. I had a good nap and stuff. Then I got a little lazy. And I was rushing to get all this stuff together. So what do you guys think about the Solomon's Temple thing? Anybody got anything to say? Nothing. Just like everybody else. Ain't got shit to say. Ain't nobody gonna say fuck you, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Let me read some other stuff here. I dug us this article here. Herod's Temple, Facts and Fantasies, right? Okay, let me find my thing here. Just give me 1 minute here. Is that that, this. Okay. Let's see, we got any more of this shit out of Solomon's Temple. I'm sorry it was so short, but it pretty much like got straight to the point. This is disprove this whole Israelite bullshit, and the ones that want to get on, oh fuck Egypt. Let's say everything you was dealing with that you consider Israelite is coming straight out of Egypt, and now we have the facts here. The sources right here showing you. Huh. Okay, let me get this up here. And okay, this will be fine where okay. Freestyle some shit here. Find y'all in here in the chat. Close this up. All right. All right. Street leading to the Temple Mount. Screen here. Kind of tired of reading, but I'll read for y'all. All right. Herod, Adrian, and Jupiter. Who built what and when? All right. In the city of Jerusalem, both Herod the Great and the Roman Emperor Hadrian built on a monumental scale, directing public works little more than a century apart. The two monarchs built in a similar style and with a common Roman technology. In the latter Hadrianic period, materials from the earlier Herodian construction was reused, resetting the distinctive Herodian blocks in new locations. Both, this is what I wanted to read. No, it's not. Wait, hold on. Where is it? These some images here that I didn't get a chance to look into. That were found in a temple, Adrianic temple on the temple. Let's see if I can Google it and this stuff. See here. Let's see. says here. Ancient synagogue uncovered at Dur Europa, Syria. The last construction is dated by an Aramaic inscription in 244 CE, making it making it one of the oldest synagogues in the world. It was unique among many ancient synagogues that have emerged from archaeological digs, as the structure was preserved virtually intact, and it had extensive figurative wall paintings, which came as a considerable surprise to scholars. These paintings are now displayed in the National Museum of Damascus. Small garrison of the Euphrates. Let's take a look at this thing. You said it was built. (244 CE). Let's see what was in there. Wow. I don't see no black people. I don't see no black people. That's a painting of Herod's temple. Look what this nigga doing with his hands. Those ain't no black people. Y'all can't say the shit was whitewashed, none of that shit, nigga. Get the fuck out of here. Wow. I gotta look up these images. Some more of the images here. These are all found inside. There's a coin there. Cockwell coins. Coins issued by the Judean rebel state headed by Simon Bar Kokhba during the Bar Kokhba revolt. Wow. Look at y'all menorahs. All this shit. Huh. Okay. And it's 2 o'clock. Did I spell that motherfucker wrong? Yakeem the Submitter. What up, Yakeem? We talking about some Islam shit for a hot second today, goddamn it. Where was you at? Why there was Egyptians up in Solomon's temple? Why there was Egyptian stuff up in Solomon's temple, bro? Let me know. Let me know, bro. What up, y'all, Cam? Let me know, man. Why y'all Islamic peoples and stuff knew that there was Egyptian shit up inside the temple? Solomon. Don't get quiet now. You want to come out here and laugh? Say, fuck you, bitch. But you can't do nothing with the information. Nothing. And oh yeah, why did Muhammad paint his fingernails? Can you tell us that? Yeah, Kim Submitter. Don't hide now. Don't hide out now. You just giggling. All right. Sorry, we getting certain early person. Sorry, I went a little off topic. I just rushed. I just wanted to do a show today. Paul, founder of Christian Gnosticism, yet worked into the icon of this. Him Charles Manson. That's weak. Yeah, we get on y'all Jesus heads another day. This is going into Jesus and stuff. And Paul, all that stuff there. We'll do this another day. I don't know. I'll get my study on tomorrow and stuff. I have something more intact for you. Just close this shit up here. Ain't tired anyway. But thanks for everybody that did tune in. Even Yakem. Line Forever, thanks for tuning in. Amber, thanks for tuning in. Swiggly Lion Man and Chris Harris. I don't know what happened to brother. Oh, brother Heru's going. Oh, sorry. Forgot about that. Shit. I think it ended. I don't know. But channel, the High Council, and that's about it. Let's see what I can go out with here. Oh, it's my message. Oh, no, something. All right. Goddamn Killer Beauty, goddamn Witchfinder General. You got a witch, I'll burn their goddamn asses up. Y'all know this, man. All right, everybody, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Why this shit here won't play? So you can't become the devil and fighting that devil because that's his name. He is. Them energy is to be the devil. So you can't become the devil and fighting that devil because that's his name. That's his image. So you have to become God. You have anti-truth. You have energy to do it on the spiritual plane.
Christ is you. That's what it is. Bottom line, you are Christ. Christ is talking about your soul. Melanin, oil.
Killah B, Witchfinder General. You gotta witch, I'll burn their asses up.